The players, the casters, the desk wanted variety on Rondo. You know what I'll give you? Not one, I'll give you two planes to kick things off today, as this, of course, is our first one, which will have a good half of the teams in it. The other one is coming in from the far, far south. All the players are in, as you see, everyone ready to go for what will be the final Rondo of the group stages.
And James absolutely nails it on the head. I mean, this, you really have to be quick on your feet when we're talking about Rondo, because each team only got 2 Rondos in the group stages. And so the teams that were able to kind of bag a lot of points really did themselves a lot of favors, especially going into maps that we already know, like Miramar, like Tego.
Yep. Well, let's see now a little more variety in where teams are starting to drop off of course, the double playing path, which currently is exclusive to this map. We'll see if they think about maybe adding it to the other maps too down the line. We cannot say that, like, either confirm nor deny that that will be the case. They trade with currently plenty of space to play over towards the western side, towards Fongtun, as the rest of the server is spread up. But again, in general, there's going to be so much space between everyone here, except for, of course, up around test track, where teams just really like to go.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. The 2 planes make sense because of how much landmass Rondo actually has. I mean, realistically, with 1 plane, you leave out so much, and of course, we center on test track, but oh yeah, look, get out of there.
Get out. There's a Panzerfaust. We don't like
little
those.
Pico bus silently escapes.
The very, very OP Uzi Panzerfaust combo. Don't want to be going up against that, especially if you don't have a gun and you're in a little Pico bus.
Did he find the JS9? Is that what Zess got?
Oh, it wasn't just the Uzi? I didn't need.
I didn't
see.
It was
the Uzi. I'm not. No. Now you have me doubting myself. How do you
I'm just asking you a question.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, the JS9, if you don't know, is a very strong SMG. It's 9mm, and it is it's disgusting.
Definitely pretty decent. We haven't seen too much of it so far in the tournament. Who knows?
I think they toned it down off the initial release, because I mean that thing was. I mean, you were beaming people from distances that 9mm really has no business beaming people. It's still a very good gun.
Definitely. TSM down towards Jadina City. A city we haven't really had a chance to showcase. We gave it a hard time yesterday, saying that for all the buildings that are here, why is there not more loot? And I think that's a big part of the problem. Not only is it very much on the edge, but also I feel like there are other areas where your travel time between loot, like your total time spent in order to get yourself fully kitted, is just lower.
Yeah. I mean, as you stated, I mean, it sometimes can take quite a bit of time, but TSM, fortunately, being on that southern plane, actually dropped immediately, so they did buy themselves a little extra time, and that could be the benefit, as we now see Purdy going towards that Blanc, which is also a vehicle exclusive to Rondo, essentially a better UAZ.
I think one of the tricky things, and one of the things is I've talked with quite a few of the players about the double plane path coming in. I think one of the tricky things is in terms of prep. When you aren't fully aware of exactly how these teams are going to be split, how do you plan rotations? Like, how do you know who gets
which
to
team is in which plane?
How do you know who gets to their favorite drop spot and who doesn't? It's definitely putting a wrench in the reel of the brain of an in-game leader trying to kind of set up strategies and plan rotations.
For sure, it's a little bit of an element of randomness, but you know what? They figure it out, right?
That's why elements of randomness they shouldn't be playing PUBG.
This is the wrong game to be playing for sure, as we see Sonics with a very wide split, as they're given quite enough room to do so. That's going to be on the northeast side of the circle. And then look at this. Twisted have actually set up on Neox Factory. They are dead center of this circle. They will not have to move at the very least for 1 or 2 shifts.
And while we have yet to see a lot of Rondo matches, I feel like everyone, viewers and talent alike, knows this area full well, because as I just said as well, the last 2 days of matches have gone pretty much in and around this exact area. So we'll see now if Twisted Minds can set up for this fight to come. No Pico buses galore, so they will have been hurt on approach. As Expendables now try and kind of scramble up towards the northern position here. Delwyn, I think, hurt the vehicles of them. Spots Batulins on the hill over on the other side as well. Might be able to catch 1 or 2 of them off.
The thing is with the Expendables, the way that they've kind of approached this, they don't necessarily need to push the pace so early, right? Because they're in the center of the circle. Yes, staying here and getting this would be a big benefit to them, but also losing members this early in the game, I'm not sure would be what they want.
He hurt them, and this is a great timing for Expendables too. They saw them split off. He saw not only one on the hill, Delvin that is, but also saw a guy leaving in a car towards him. They know they have a guy on the roof. If you push this one smart, if you play it smart, you can take down Example. A big threat. Bites the comments. Tanvu does exactly that. Got to give a massive shout out to Tanvu. When things have been working for Expendables in this tournament and tournaments in the past, Tanvu has usually been the spearhead of the operation, been the guy to make things happen, been the guy to get in, get the first, not confirm, and maybe also almost get the second one. That was a toe tap, I think, 31 damage with an M24.
It's possible it wasn't the M24. It looked like it though. When
it must have.
As it clicked, but that is a big victory here for the Expendables,
Definitely.
taking that position and pushing Twisted Minds off of that split that they had. Essentially complete control of Neox Factory.
Yeah. Well, see the EMP zones pop off now. The only ones in trouble is H-Winner, but I'm sure he's going to be just fine. As Sonics out towards the east will start making their way towards this first circle too.
So looking at some of the other teams as well, coming into this circle, I mean, this is also a symptom of this circle. When it is in the middle, when it does go around test track as the center of Circle 1, it does slow things down, especially in the surrounding areas. A lot of teams are actually given a lot of room. It's good for the players, given a lot of room and a lot of time to really set up, at least in some of the surrounding areas, not necessarily compounds, but some of the buildings that also surround test track. So a lot of the teams currently will be comfortable going into this first shift.
Yep. Well, let's see. C1. Oh, C1. T1 and Zenith. That's what I was trying to say.
Will he see one from T1?
I don't know. I don't know. They're needing 8 clouds and then they'd be there. Zenith, alongside his teammates, trying to scout forward, coming in from the far western side. They have Danawa right in front of them. And I mean, if we are to go by results today, Danawa wouldn't be the hardest team to take down. Issue is, T1 wouldn't be the biggest team to take them down either. Neither of these two teams are really coming off to a solid start.
And after, again, speaking to T1 earlier in the day, their goal was to make sure that they just play their game, and they're not just looking to, get enough points. They just want to get as many points as possible to also just bring that confidence and send a message going into grand finals if they do make it there.
Exactly. Let's see, Haven spots a guy in the sky, but shots are instantly ringing out. I think Lyrics realizes he got to do something to shoot back as he finds himself very isolated up there in his glider.
It's good to see even pro players, when they get shot at in the glider, kind of put their head down. I saw it very briefly there from Lyrics, like, oh,
no, the bullets fly through the monitor and hit you if you don't watch.
I would probably not be sitting here if that was the case, the amount of times I've been shot successfully.
Well, see, but yet another team we can mention as one struggling. I mean, again, we're only 2 games into the day, but a team that wants to and needs to get something going right about now, because they have 3 points gathered in the first 2 Erangel games. In their defense, and really everyone else's too, these 2 Erangel games were absurd. Complete and utter chaos from start to finish. I don't really fault them. It just makes it that much more harder when they then have to try and succeed, because you only have 12 games, and of course some games will go by as the ones where you had a chance but didn't make much of it.
Sure.
And then you think, great, but now we can convert all the rest of them. But then you get tricky playing paths followed by circles like what we saw in the previous 2 Erangels. And those games will be there too. And if you're counting up 4 or 5 matches going against you, you're not going to be within top territory.
Yeah, within at this point, some of these the thousands of games that they've played, you're going to inevitably run into games where you have to just say, look, this one's a wash. There's not a lot we can do, whether we made the right decisions, rotations or not. The circles, the way that the other teams are set up, you're not going to get any points. And so, again, T1 doesn't really have many more of those to give.
And to add to that conversation, it makes the value of games where they then do go your way that much more important. For Lunar Galaxy, yes, they rotated off of military. Yes, they came back. Yes, they didn't really do a whole lot until there were 6 players alive on the server, but they got the win. They got themselves the points needed to make something of a game where things went their way. Had they fallen out maybe in 3rd, had Sonics been able to push on through, take them out, they only get 2 kills and a 3rd place. I mean, then
that's a disaster.
Then we're looking at a 7-point game in what should have been pretty much a guaranteed double digit. So it's all about the few chances that you get. And of course, I mean, that's part of the reason why we play 12 games. Over the course of 12, you're usually, if not pretty much always guaranteed that every single team will have had one game they could have converted into something positive if, of course, they can manage to do that.
And to bring up my point from the end of last game when Luna Galaxy won, they need to keep their foot on the gas. Yes, in that game specifically, they pretty much were in a catch-9 situation where they got all the circles once they rotated after Circle 1. But I want to see them replicate that success when they don't get every single circle, when they have to rotate in, when unfortunately they are being, let's say, camped on a rotation by another team trying to get in on the edge. And that is where we've seen Luna struggle. So if they can rectify that, if they can at least convert that into more points, they have a real chance. And this is a perfect circle for them.
What a circle. What a not at all repeat of yesterday up towards Bamboo. At least everyone knows where that rock is now. And everyone knows you can get up on top of it and do a lot of damage like Example and Perfectix did yesterday. We'll see if that's going to come into play again as we, for the 3rd day in a row, have really only shown you about a square kilometer of Rondo. It's the biggest map, but it's also the one we know the least about.
Yeah, well, we know a lot about this area. I'll tell you that much. As you were stating, test track, and
that's what we're doing. Tournament after tournament, we'll go to
we'll just go one at a time.
We'll take one square at a time for all the players to be on an even playing field. I think that's only fair.
I mean, this circle does have quite a lot of ridges and actually a decent amount of small little compounds for teams to take hold of or take control of it. Please survive. And again, just early game woes for VP. I just don't understand.
It's unfortunate. I was gonna say these small Pico trucks can, I mean, really help you out when pushing up on teams. Speaking of pushing up, here comes the rest of Virtus Pro. Next team able to trade, finds Kraken in return. As Squizzy gets out of the car too, they want to get Vinny before he gets out of there.
Nice.
But I think he might just be able to get away in time. It is an uphill drive, so a bit tricky at that, but able to get out of there. Now Inonix joins in, and that's going to, I think, for Virtus Pro, force them to slow things down, because now they realize, wait, there's a third team here as well, but not to be. VP, once again, lose yet another one.
Phase 2 and still just 2 members alive for VP. I want so badly for them to make something work. I just want to see them fight as 4 beyond the early game.
They're setting up for the 19-kill Miramar game.
Yes, but they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
I like this team so much. That's why I get so frustrated when this just is a constant for them.
It really is tough to watch. But of course, I mean, this could happen to anyone. It's just, I guess for VP, at least now they know where they're struggling. It's something that I'm sure Scoom already now is looking at trying to work into the next 3 games they have available.
Especially with Scoom, his pedigree, you know, as a former, very successful player, very intelligent mind as well. I'm sure he's trying to set the boys straight.
For those of you guys who don't know, of course, Scoom is the coach of Virtus Pro. Daytrade showcasing the location of the win here in yesterday's match, or well, sorry, 2 days ago on this map, as they do not like Bamboo, these Daytrade boys. Therefore, they will try and take down the entire forest.
And CC now just slowly biding his time. They are letting Daytrade kind of pass through, as they're actually just gonna, they're gonna decide to not even mess with Bamboo. And it's difficult to get a team that's entrenched in that area out of it. And so realize they can actually take a wider rotation here, and I like this. I like this quite a bit for Daytrade. They can actually put themselves in a position where they don't get trapped in Bamboo. They can rotate around it if they so choose. And what is happening here? There's
definitely some, again, some small skirmishes going on. This time around Expendables and All Gaming Global looking towards one another. TSM joining the test track party as well, as they, I mean, to go off of what we've seen in the past, expect the circles to come back in this direction. Sparking the UAV for the team. The drone in the air, looking forward, trying to see if he can catch some All Gaming Global players in the open. Right now, not peeking, but who knows, maybe there's a knock for him to be found.
And even for TSM, it's been kind of a slow day, Toby.
It has?
For them. I mean, they started with about 57, I believe, or somewhere around there. They're currently sat at 65, most likely safe, but still would like to get at least another 10 points to ensure that they're completely safe and they don't have to worry about anything going into the final 3 games after this.
Now, with this shift up towards the north, I'm curious to see how teams are going to rotate in on it. Again, now we know this area quite well. We'll see if teams opt to go all the way north around, because there's a lot of teams that are going to be coming in from the south. Chaos could unfold just moments from now, unless if they manage to untangle, I should say, these rotations that are most likely going to be going crisscross through one another. And speaking thereof, New Heavy forced outside the vehicles. They need to take the fight here to BB Team. First player to fall is December 12th.
And BB Team has just come in today with a mission. Currently sat at 67 points. I mean, they have been so consistent And as I say that, of course, Halo will find Besalosh and he will fall.
Yep.
So a point for TSM, but still having to contend with New Happy as well.
TSM, yet again, yet another third-party opportunity. I love this approach that they have to the game. Don't go all in. If you can, at a distance, try and see if you can claim 3 points. I say free. Dog2s won't make them as free as I think TSM had hoped for, but the rest here should definitely be doable.
I'm looking at Sparking here, and
he's out of gas.
Yeah, he's just going to be gliding through. And meanwhile, on the east side of the map, Sonic's actually getting quite close to Luna Galaxy's position, is Sparking with an excellent landing.
Oh, there comes Spiro. You saw him just on the side of the vehicle. Got to get out of that car fast, and indeed he does. Take some shots at him at a fast. Spiro actually down to really low HP, trying to wrap back towards the eastern side, but instantly after Filfirst on the rock, Sparking needs some help.
Filfirst also could be in trouble here, but yes, mainly it's going to be Sparking now that has to defend. The nade coming through. Unfortunately, Filfirst will not go down, but Alo will find the knock.
Yep. In the meantime, All Gaming Globals, T finds a double onto Danawa. That's elsewhere on the map on the southeastern, or sorry, northwestern side of where we are currently positioned. Spiro from the car with the double. This vehicle can tank 1 or 2 more bullets before it'll blow up, but it does not mean that Spiro won't drive in it. He'll do so, find 2 knocks onto TSM, and what looked to be a fight going completely the way of TSM is now starting to go against them.
Somewhat in shambles, and BB team, what a good turnaround on this fight. Initially, did not look good for them at all. Now Alo getting shot in the back. That nade will cruise past him, and so he will be able to heal in the smoke, but he is all but alone at this point.
Tricky position for him to be in. He does have Purdy alive, but he's much further towards the north. They're miles out into the blue, and in just about 20 seconds, phase 4 will pop, and it'll start hurting a lot more to be in this position. Adusi lops a nade on into the smoke, flashed, has to back off. As Alo is trying to reposition, wants to get back in the car, wants to get the hell out of there, but it's not easy to try and make this move here.
No, and as you stated, Purdy not really in a position at all to support this, and so BB, the last 2 members, just given free reign to get rid of the members of TSM.
Ooh. In the meantime, Danawa.
Hey, what happened here?
I don't know. We got here too late, but Danawa standing strong in the outpost on the hillside. They lost 2 players, or at least has 2 players knocked by Sir T earlier. I think New Happy thought that was going to be a chance for them to pounce, but Danawa shuts down New Happy on approach as Purdy gets the knock onto Spiro, falls down immediately after though, and that is going to be TSM out in 15th.
The damage has been done though. BB is in quite a lot of trouble. I mean, they might be able to recover, but just as a duo, still stuck in the blue. Meanwhile, Shrimzy is going to find an easy knock on a Perfectix, and that's going to be confirmed.
Nice 2-2 split that Sonics have got going right now, trying to again make sure that no one's creeping in from behind. Very much of, let's call it now, a Valentine approach to the game.
Sure.
Spreading out. I mean, Na'Vi, Twisted Minds, you can name all of them. Staying on the edge, trying to spread out, trying to make sure that no one's wrapping in from behind. And here again, a look at the aftermath of the push that we saw just before. Of course, it's an uphill climb for New Happy, so Danawa was aware of their approach for a while. We're able to set up for it, but little did New Happy know that they were going to get completely shut down as they approached.
And if you're the Expendables, I mean, you have to find your way in, right? This blue is really starting to tick down. And for this team, I mean, their rotation is blocked by multiple teams. If they go further south, they're going to have to run into AGG, either Gaming Gladiators or Danawa, who also aren't even in the circle currently, Toby.
Exactly. And Onyx trying to isolate the Expendables player, does not want them anywhere near him, but they have another plan in mind altogether. Nade lobbed on forward, wants to try and get at least some damage done before this becomes a proper 1v1, or should I say 1v2 battle, but he's going to go down. Nade well placed by Cloris, as he's going to try and make the push further forward.
And the other members of Danawa aren't even really close to this, actually sitting at that bird's eye view here. Loki and Deal with no support, unable to help in Onyx at all.
Exactly the issue there, the trees blocking the vision, and I think that's again part of the thing where these players are also still learning the map. Where do we have the perfect opportunity to back up one another, and from where can you not take a fight without us not being able to see you? Expendables, deployable cover, deployed, I should say, as All Gaming Global's Tycon looking in this direction too. Of course, saw the action, heard the shots fired before. Want to see if maybe he can get a point or 2 off of that.
And Sonic's doing a great job of just feasting on all these teams on the outside who are having rotational issues, just picking apart member after member. They will find one of Daytrade there. At least Daytrade still has 3 members alive, but Sonic's now on their edge, going to contend with them. as they actually have quite a bit of room. Even if they wanted to, they could actually wrap all the way south towards the last two members of VP as well, Toby.
This southeast has half the server in it. E-Arena has a 300-meter buffer on all sides. There is so much, like these teams are so cramped down towards the southeast, and now I think this is going to be the fuse that lights this entire southeast side on fire.
Especially once AGG gets involved, and you can see they're starting to look at that, but a bamboo circle. I'm kind of excited for this.
I mean, this shift, the center compound has no one in it, and Tiger now, I think, realizing, guys, there's a lot of kills over here, but this circle just said, no, thank you. We're not going to go over in that direction. You can see Nixie trying to peek on forward, trying to get some space for themselves. Sonics, they're on the run already. They know for a fact that while all these teams are fighting on the south, we should make a play for the circle.
There's no way. Oh, they're getting there at the same time as Gaming Gladiators. At the same exact time, the fight is kicking off. Shrimsy will find one. Hwin will find one. The trains are coming out. It's just down to win, and Gladiators will win this.
What a scramble for what I called a compound. It's really just a shack.
It's a shack.
Not a whole lot more to play around, but they full speed sent it. And Dante, the lone survivor of this one, in helping taking out Sonics. But here comes the cavalry. Here comes the, I guess, belated Sonic's helpers in T1. It's just Dante. Can he do this on his own? He doesn't need to do it on his own because Tianba are there to help him.
Tianba unbelievably have given the helping hand to Dante still. Levante alive, but I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to even get him up. He just needs to survive.
This is so incredibly difficult. The smoke's going to fade in just a moment as well. Ian and Zenith on the other side. They have to make a play. They cannot just let him stay alive. They see him around the side. Ian, first shot's connected.
Oh, no way!
Drop shot from Dante. What an effort. Solid performance, but not enough. Zenith had the play to make from the other side, but what a try. I love these glimpses of mechanical skill that we get to see at global stage PUBG. Nice try, Dante. Unfortunately for him, that 1v2 was unwinnable.
Well, here comes Daytrade now as they're the fourth team to try to get involved, and one will fall, so at least Thanadol and Flash will still be alive to try to get rid of the rest of the teams in T1. It's just EN. What can you do? Close in the smoke.
What is up with these teams today as Ian now trying to stay put, finds one, will get taken down. Flash stays alive, but now he is the last survivor of Daytrade. We just lost 5 teams in this compound. I think there is about 9,000 bullets scattered all around these 1.5 shacks. And for now, this is where Daytrade calls home, but unless if Luna Galaxy are gonna come in here and say something about it, everyone has been here at this point, so Luna Galaxy might as well pull up too. Haven trying to make a play alongside Vinny around the side. There he goes, spots him through the smoke. Haven able to find it first, drones down, tries to go for the second, but no Flash. It's gonna take him from behind, and just like that, Daytrade falls as well. What in the world is going on?
How many teams are going to join this compound? There's the 5th team, Toby. The 5th team to join this. Unbelievable.
I'm at a loss for words. Lou, I see you in the blue. Get in a car, go down.
Just do it.
Just do it, bro. And the worst thing is, we've just shifted the circle, so that's the only place All Gaming Global, E-Arena, and Tianba can really go to play from.
Tianba at the very least, though, Toby, let's take a breath. Tianba at the very least can actually shift west if they wanted to. A little bit west of Bamboo. They don't necessarily have to commit to that compound that Luna have. What do we have to call that something at this point?
Yeah, we've talked about how we've kind of stopped making call-outs for positions that aren't. Back in the day, we used to have the community doing this all the time. Somebody in chat, somebody in the community, come up with a name for what we just saw, and let's call that compound exactly that. Let's do an official PUBG competition to name that compound, because that deserves it. Theo able to get one on the other side here. That's gonna put a little bit of a break on the rotation from All Gaming Global. As I say that, Tigger able to find Loki down. I thought that might be their chance to push on up, but nice approach here from E-Arena to send 2 players down south of the compound.
And once again, AGG is down to just Sapao and Tycon, who did an immense amount of work in the last game. Seems like Sapao is right there with Tycon as far as just helping out, giving a helping hand deal, though. No way he makes it out of that one alive.
Let's get the knock with the nade onto Sapao, though. We'll see if that's going to come to cost. Tycon currently looking the other way. Not really in a position to get the rest, so maybe Steel will get the kill in the end of it. Indeed, he will. Tycoon will fall as well. Gets the flush onto Lou in the middle of the open. Just casually,
The
like,
way he just looks like, oh look, free kill.
Tap, takes him out, and now we're down to just 4.
Tiamba, though, what is their move? Will they, in fact, go a little bit to the west, or will they just try to take this compound from Luna Galaxy? As you see, E-Arena now starting to flex out toward the east side of this, and they do have a nice reach to work with in order to take angles onto either Petrichor, Luna, or Tiamba. So this really is a big opportunity for E-Arena to get some much-needed points.
Sure is. Sure is. Petrichor with the high ground still left to work with, but as you can see here as well, every time they peek on over, E-Arena is there ready to shoot at them. They have managed to get all their players up towards the northern side here, but we'll see how much they can make of it. 3 guys kind of sat on top of one another for E-Arena right now. A bus and a rock for cover. Not too much to work with. They're going to try and see if they can assist Tigger, who I think is now starting to realize that Petrichor knows he is on his own.
Oh, what a grenade! That was perfection from Chewy. As now this is such a good play as well from Petrichor, as you were stating, realizing that the biggest threat to them is going to be the team that's on their east.
You know what? Let's add another team to the mix, shall we? Tiamba now making a play on this compound. Haven and Winnie realizing, wait, everyone else who's been trying to defend this position has died. We should get out of here before it's too late. The issue is there's nowhere for them to run. They're going to lob nades forward. Believe you me, they should have 200 nades at this point lying inside this compound. Winnie will find Pow Pow with the first.
And Lin Shu has now gone to the north side of this, so he's going to get a different set of angles onto Lu, and really they're just pigeonholed here into this spot now with a perfect backstab, and there it is. Tiamba will take control.
This is absolutely insane. The amount of corpses in this shack is unheard of, unparalleled to anything I feel like we have ever seen. Sissy gets one, because why not have E-Arena come over here as well? We're reaching, I believe, over half the teams on the server has either survived or died in and around this one shack. You asked if Rondo could deliver, and in my opinion, it sure does right now as Ikeslip finds one, goes for the second, not gonna find him in his Jacob is able to stand strong, takes down the double.
And it's just now down to Chewy and Summer now. Nade coming out. Jacob, can he actually get the nade? No, he does not. And Chewy again with the flashbang, not hitting himself, coming around the corner, and he will finally finish off E-Arena.
Tiamba, were they really to be the victors, the champions of the shack? Should it just be the shack?
We should, you know what we should call this? I have the perfect name, Graveyard.
You know what? That is Graveyard now. In my opinion, that's Graveyard.
The amount of crates.
I would like to have thought of a great name myself, but I can't come up with anything better. That is definitely the Graveyard from here on out. Petrichor, Summer, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Probably took off his shoes too, trying to creep on forward. He knows he's in a 2v4. He knows that Tiamba is waiting just on the other side of the rock. They have the better position in the circle, but they're massively outnumbered. Pow Pow swinging his pan for memes. We'll see if... what the mission is with that. In the meantime, Chewy prone with a smoke grenade launcher in hand. If they catch them on a 2-2 split, there might actually be... If Lin Shu is trying to get an off angle. Oh, that's what they were doing. Deployable cover. Okay, makes sense, I suppose. We'll see now if Summer, he's crept up the rock. Does Lin Shu see him? Yes, he does.
Summer, though, with a big opportunity here to finally themselves somewhat of a break in this 2v4, but now it's just down to him. Chewy has fallen stuck.
Yeah.
Literally between a rock and a hard place. His back to the blue, and they should know exactly where Summer is now.
Yep, set up high, not gonna happen, not gonna work for him. As Tiamba comes out victorious, and what I can safely say is the most hectic run that we have ever had in global PUBG, because we only had 3. What a game, and a finish in the Graveyard.
The amount of teams that crashed one after the other. And you know what that is, though? It's a symptom of that area. There is nothing else to play. There's nothing. So all the teams who were in vehicles that started with the Sonics, and then after the Sonics, E-Arena, and you had Luna Galaxy, you had literally every team left alive sending it to that area, which I think Graveyard is the perfect name.
Chaos,
I need a break.
Chaos and chaos galore as we shifted north of the test track. 3 games left to play, 2 insane